Hello and welcome to the next episode of Castlevania Dawn of Sorrows, and joining me today are Titan Gaming.
Hey guys.
The Reaver of Jill Sandwiches.
Hello.
And the Very Rare Games Guild.
Well met.
Indeed. Yes, at this point she's just repeating dialogue.
Yeah, I've noticed these games like to do that, don't they?
Yeah. That's right. I've read this out about 8 times.
Like the Zelda games.
So, I'm just upgrading some of my weapons so I can go into the final area with a stronger arsenal.
That was one thing that I didn't quite get the grip with on this game yet, is the weapon upgrading system, because it seems to be there seems to be a lot to it.
Yeah, you need certain souls to upgrade your weapons to get the best stuff in the game. It's like you use Death to get the Death Sai, which is the best axe weapon in the game.
Yeah, I did.
That's all they'll do. That ain't the best one, but it'll do for now.
I did find a guide that had all the combinations, and man, there was so many.
It's quite an in-depth system. We're our last visit to Mr. Hammer, I believe.
Ooh. I do prefer how. Sorry.
I'll just see what I can sell to him and all that.
I was going to say I prefer the item system in this game and the inventory, like how you can just use health items in the menu and stuff like that, instead of because that's one thing with Symphony of the Night that used to drive me mad. If you wanted to use a potion or something, you got to throw it on the floor and then collect it.
Symphony's item system was a mess. One way around that was to have fairy equipped, and when your health would go low, she'd heal you.
Sometimes, yeah, if you're lucky. Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah. Yeah, so last video I went around all the mirrors and got all the mirror stuff as well. One of the best armors is Dracula's tunic, but you have to go in a mirror to get it.
Can you upgrade the armors?
Not the armors, but there's some weapons that do give you all your stats to an upgrade. I want that Soul Eater.
Soul Eater, 300,000.
Ooh. Yeah, it's worth it. So it doubles the soul drops. I'm gonna sell some of these.
Sounds like something out of Legacy of Kain.
Oh yeah, it's all about the souls in this game. Every enemy has one, and they all have unique abilities.
Yeah, they're like collectible items, aren't they? The souls.
Yeah. Sell all this junk.
I am looking forward to Legacy of Kain. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be buying that collection. That's going to be my first foray into the franchise.
Ah, well, apparently there's a PC. Well, there's a PC version of Blood Omen, and apparently on the PS5 store they just put Blood Omen 1 and 2 on there.
I saw.
Ooh.
Cool.
Jim's got it for a collection.
Is that a remake, or are they just
No, it's just the game.
Oh no.
Base game.
Oh, okay.
It's the base game.
Mhm.
They just made it possibly playable on the PS5 version, but to be honest, nothing's set in stone with those, unfortunately, because I remember playing Abe's Odyssey on the PS5, and it's the version that unfortunately glitches out if you're at the very last part of the game, where sometimes isn't there. And I was really annoyed because I got all the way to the end where it bugged out, and it wasn't there, so I wasn't happy with that.
Sony are quite weird when they put their old games up on their consoles, because remember when they brought Director's Cut Resident Evil to the PS4 and obviously PS5 as well. I played all the way through that to the end for my channel for the PS4 version, and it glitches out right at the end. Doesn't play the final cutscene. Game just crashes every time.
Yeah, that sucks. I remember watching that. You were well.
I was,
at the
yeah.
end.
It really pisses you off as well when you're at the very end. You just think, why is this happening? Did no one proof test this? And
Right.
it really annoys me. Yeah, Sony's lack of
quality control. Because when you think about it, if you're running it through an emulator on a PC, it's all unverified software and, it's all dodgy ROMs and stuff like that. But when you're buying it on a console that's apparently supposed to just work and been vetted by all the companies and it doesn't work, that's a different kind of irritation. Yeah,
Absolutely.
you do.
It's like it's a professional company that's outsourcing this game that's not theirs, granted, but at the same time, it's like you have a responsibility to get it to work and deliver an actual working freaking product to the person buying it on your freaking platform. It's a whole different level of bullshit that, unfortunately, they're not going to take any responsibility for, and there's not going to be any refund.
And in most cases as well, you can't refund it.
No, exactly.
Okay, we're in the final area, and I knocked my key off there.
It happens.
I saw that Sunday service video of yours as well, by the way, Ty, and I was literally captivated from start to finish.
I want to do more of those, but it's just a time thing. I might get to the point where I do one every week. Might bring you guys on for it as well. That could be fun.
That would be nice, actually. I mean, because I was definitely interested in your opinions about why you go through the Xbox. And I didn't really realise all that stuff about PlayStation and Nintendo's sort of backwards way of doing things.
Well, the great thing about the Xbox is its ecosystem. It's not just the console, it's the store, it's the app on your phone, it's the console as well, obviously, but they all just integrate and work together, and that's what's so good about it.
I guess they learned their lesson ever since the Xbox One days.
Yeah, that was brutal, absolutely brutal.
Hey, there's a game going on too.
Hi, can you guess who the boss of this area is, Ty? By that enemy and another one you're gonna see. They're directly linked.
Not sure. I am getting a Metroid sort of vibe though from those slimes and the sort of space pirate looking guy you just killed. I'm not sure.
Slogra.
Because I'm trying to think now.
These assholes poison you.
Which bosses that I actually defeated? I think I defeated the first 4. I think.
Yeah. This version has a nice addition. When you defeat a boss, you don't have to draw that stupid magic seal.
I will say one.
Oh, and I've got paranoia gripped. I should have took that off.
Nintendo, Japanese games, but more specifically Nintendo games, is there's a recent video that I watched where someone went to give up playing. It was a very similar game to the remake of Zelda Link's Awakening, and it basically it doesn't have an option.
Yeah, the only thing is when you get poisoned, it lowers all your stats. That's why your hit damage is less.
That sounds rough.
Echoes of Wisdom.
There's your other enemy, Gibbon. They're associated with a particular boss, these two. That's been in since the original Castlevania.
I was going to say, I'm not 100% sure because I haven't played this game for a few weeks. It is on my to-come, but I got too absorbed into Bolt Gun. Finished that yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Or the day before, can't remember now. A little bit too difficult in places, but yeah. I think a lot of...
And the special edition for this one, the Alucard sword, which you don't get in the base game.
List. Alucard's favourite sword. Awful.
Yep.
Nice.
What would he be doing there if it's his favourite sword?
He's dropped it. Fell out of his pocket.
Yeah, actually, there's only way you can get to use it in this if you play Julius mode, because he's one of the characters you get to play as.
Oh, okay. Because this game's set in the future, isn't it? Which I thought was actually really interesting. It's like in a modern, high-tech sort of future setting, which I thought was quite unique for Castlevania.
It all revolves around the Demon Castle War of 1999, which never got a game made, but it's been hinted at tons of time.
See, I never liked the modern day settings for Castlevania. Okay, Castlevania has always been this dark fantasy medieval setting. Really, that's where it should have left.
I can understand that.
I understand that the direction they wanted to go in, it's changing the timeline every time because they wanted to change it up and add something new. And you know, I get it. It's just, I don't know. The direction they're gone in is just, it's all meant to be sort of dark fantasy medieval magic.
Yeah, like dark gothic fantasy.
Yeah, exactly. And gothic doesn't, like dark fantasy, gothic, medieval stuff when it's been originated in that doesn't fit in modern day.
You'd want to play Order of Ecclesia because that's the darkest out of the 3DS games.
Did they do a remake of that one?
Yeah, it's on that collection type.
I thought it was.
Let's try
Yes,
it for you.
that's right. Yeah, thought it sounded familiar.
It's the hardest one of these as well.
Oh yeah, because I went to try that one first.
Yeah, that's why I suggested playing Portrait on this one first, so at least you've got a base on it. Because Order will literally punish you if you don't know what you're doing.
It's interesting though, because everyone said that Symphony of the Night was quite a difficult game, and I kind of sailed through that one.
Symphony isn't difficult.
Is that Super SNES version, isn't it? Of the
Symphony's Alucard.
It's PlayStation.
It's set after Rondella of Blood.
That's it, Rondella of Blood. But they were like, they're supposed to be the remake version of the NES versions, which gives you a lot more options.
Were they?
I don't know, I thought so.
I've no idea. I don't know much about Castlevania. I'm kind of only just dipping my toes in. The only Castlevania I've actually completed was Symphony of the Night, and I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. However, I would say I do prefer this one, just because it feels smoother to play, and just the inventory and the item system is a lot better. I think maybe that might have been different if I'd played the game back in the day when they first came out, because I don't have any nostalgia attached to Symphony of the Night. So I played that one, and then I played this one, which is obviously way more modern.
I mean, I don't doubt that, you know, control-wise, it's a lot more fluid and plays really well, and I totally get that, absolutely. I just hope that they do this for all the earlier entries of the Castlevania series as well. There's probably been mod.
Oh, I would imagine so. Yeah, I'd imagine so, because it's an insanely popular series.
Yep, the boss I was on about was Death type.
So
this guy's hard.
Death's one of the final bosses.
Yep. He always is.
He's meant to be.
That's what I was going to ask. Isn't he always?
Yeah. But I'm surprised in this and Aria, he never said anything to Soma. Because with the story as it is, Soma's supposed to be the reincarnated soul of Dracula.
Yeah.
And
why is he trying
Death
to kill
was his like number one lieutenant.
Why is he trying to kill Death then, when Death was the one that granted Dracula the powers?
Dracula was finally defeated in the Demon Castle War in 1999 by Julius. A game that Igarashi wanted to make, but Konami didn't let him.
Konami. But Death is a weird character though, because if I'm interpreting this correctly in Symphony of the Night, he wasn't necessarily a straight up bad guy, he's more of a neutral character, isn't he? He's trying to keep things in balance.
All he cares about is bringing Dracula back.
Ah, right, okay. So, yeah, shows you how much I picked up on that then.
Yeah, that's basically just an increment that is upon deaths, dead souls.
And that's how hard he is. I did leave in a death to show you. It's like,
That's rough.
he can kick your ass.
I have noticed that in these Castlevania games, you can die so quickly if you're not careful.
Let's do this properly now.
Game face. Let's go. Get locked in.
Yeah, there's it's like when you portrait as a team up with Death and Dracula at the end, and that boss fight is one of the hardest in the series. So you have to fight both of them at the same time.
Yeah, that could be rough because I think some of the hardest
For phase
bosses.
one.
Some of the hardest bosses are where you got multiple attackers at the same time because you got so much to concentrate on.
It's like in the early days where Dracula fought with, I can't remember if it was Trevor or Simon, he had like 3 phases.
Is that the end of Symphony?
No. One of the NES games.
Sorry.
Where he turns into like this gigantic demon or something.
Ah, right, because I know the NES games are supposed to be like just brutally difficult, which a lot of those games were back then.
It's difficult for not the right reasons.
Yeah.
Because all it was is just at the later game, at the later levels of the game, the enemies, which will be pretty much the same, probably some of them from the earlier. Same ones from the earlier levels.
I have no qualms about using healing items in this battle.
Do more damage.
No, you shouldn't. You need a healing item, use it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not one of these super speedrun players who can beat the game without taking a hit. So this fight's hard enough with all the random crap floating around the screen. Like when he summons himself in.
I always hoard my items. I'm doing it at the moment on Silent Hill 2, and I'm just I've got nearly 40 healing items. Well, actually over 40 healing items. Nope, use them.
Got him.
I'm like that.
Yeah.
I'm like that with games. I never use them because I feel like there's going to be something worse later on that I might need them for, so you end up saving them for no reason. And you end up completing the game with none of them used.
You're like, I could have had a much easier time if I just, used them. Yeah, that's what you were saying earlier about the same enemies and stuff like that Castlevania uses. I like that consistency though. I mean, it's always nice to have some new stuff in there and some remix stuff as well, but I like seeing the same bosses and things. I think Metroid does that quite well as well, even though I'm not a fan of Metroid.
Yeah.
It's the whole thing of loss avoiding. You end up saving
Loss
things that you
avoidance.
feel you need. Well, you won't actually need.
The one with the most new sprites, I'd say, is Order of Ecclesia. There was a lot of new sprites made for that one.
Details.
He's contemplating his life now. Should I go back out there? Or
Should I stay or should I go?
So once you defeat Death, it opens this hell zone that you're in now.
This looks badass.
Yeah, this is like the final area of the game.
Because where I got quite stuck with this game, because I played it a lot, and then I'm trying to think what the area was called now, but you get to that clockwork area where you've got those symbol puzzles on the wall.
The clock
Yeah, the
tower.
clock tower. I remember I got stuck on that for ages because you got to get the right sort of codes and patterns. And I was like, wait, I was not expecting puzzles. I like puzzles, but
It doesn't belong in a 2D.
Castlevania, yeah, I thought that was a bit.
They're not that complicated. They're just simple.
No, they weren't. They weren't complicated at all. But I was just like,
That's not why you bought the game. Is you didn't sign up for this.
Yeah, I wanted hack and slash and hardcore exploration action, which this game delivers in spades. But yeah, I just was surprised to see that. And it was really late. I remember I was in bed playing it on my Ally, and you know, it's like that. Yeah, 5 more minutes, 5 more minutes, 5 more minutes, and it was getting really late. And then I got to the puzzle section, and I'm just like, no, I'll do that tomorrow. Saw the puzzles, and then that was just like a hard stop right there.
Yeah, you get the last 2 passive ability souls in this area.
Quicksand.
You know, we're getting a bit of an DLC territory, even though I'm fairly certain this game.
I don't know if this was before DMC actually.
When did this game come out?
It's early 2000s, wasn't it?
Well, I'm asking the game's librarian since he's the one playing it.
Yeah, it was early DS title.
When did DS come
Devil May
out?
Cry 1 came out in 2001.
Yeah,
I'm
trying to think.
Probably later then.
2004.
Yeah, because the
maybe?
DS was 2004, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. That's it.
This is newer.
You see that sand enemy up there, the Mudman? He has the last passive ability soul, which is pretty lame ability. Lets you move fast in sand, and this is the only area in the game with sand in it.
Yeah, it's kind of anticlimactic.
you got a feel for the developers. They probably put a lot of work into creating these, conceptualized them, and then they only probably didn't have any.
There's like a
justification
water
using it.
version of that lets you move quicker in water, but there's more water areas. So. But this one is like, yeah, thanks for nothing.
What was that, Joe? You said they conceptualize loads of items before they make the game, and then they've got to cram them all in.
Well, this particular enemy, this is the only time he'll show up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the lead director was probably like, "Oh, they work so hard, and it may as well just
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. Throw 'em in at the end,
Not
it's
make them
fine.
feel bad, you know, because they put all that work.
Does make you wonder though, just like how much content a game like this leaves on the cutting room floor. I bet there's tons. Well, every game.
There's
Oh,
loads of
every game.
content.
Yeah.
Because there's been loads of stuff in the Onimusha series where they cut out, and because it's, you know, time constraints, of course, you know, game is so
yeah.
short.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah, it comes a point where no matter where you are in development, you have to draw a red line. You're just like, right, that's it, we're done. We need to start polishing and stop adding stuff.
Which I think is a shame, because you had the idea of wanting to incorporate them in the game and then give them purpose, you know, not let it take on.
I
I mean,
think.
how much was bloody Destiny when all that crap?
Oh,
They
God.
refreshed all that, and they knew they had so much more content, but because of creative differences between the director and the higher ups, he was he let go, and then all of it was just left in bloody war books, grimoire
Yep.
books or something, which is
Oh, God.
that's not how you explain your game to them.
No.
That's just how you do it.
That was insane with Destiny. The idea that to learn like the lore, you actually had to go out of the game, open an app on your phone or your PC to read what's going on. Like, how is that ever?
Like, you don't play the game in order to learn about it, because then you
Absolutely not.
learning about it is fail.
Mhm.
You know, if your game's not good enough to be able to explain anything within the game, it's a shit written way of doing it. There's no two ways about it.
Yep. So imagine if you came up against this enemy here, this Cthulhu-looking guy. That is a Cthulhu, actually, isn't it? Yeah. And instead of getting all of his stats up on your second screen there, imagine you had to open an app on your phone to read about everything that he does and all the items he drops and stuff. That gives me a headache. How did that get passed?
The only time I've ever really thought something was a clever idea, going separate from the game, was, I know it's going to sound daft, but Watch Dogs 1, was one of the game modes in that, you could actually use your tablet to use part of the environment to destroy, to prevent a player from getting from one end of the map to the other. And you was the sort of like games master. You could have all these rigged explosives and everything to prevent them from getting there. And in order to do that, you use this app. even though it was still like you should still be able to use your computer. But I thought that wasn't a bad idea, really.
This is my least favourite boss in the game. I'll be honest.
Ooh, he's a weird cricket-looking thing. Locust Man.
Looks like a
Yeah.
deck.
A conductor. It's kind of like an interesting concept, though. He's conducting his locusts. Yeah, I vaguely remember.
He shows up in all 3DS games.
Yeah. I vaguely remember that mode in Watch Dogs. I never played any of the Watch Dogs games.
I played that mode once, and I was sort of like, yeah, this ain't for me, but I appreciate that. And then they've never done anything like that. But the problem was that you couldn't do it using your own computer. You had to use it on a mobile device, either an iPad or a mobile phone. And that's kind of what defeats the purpose of it. It's like you really need to have a system, console, or computer to be able to spectate someone else. Not only spectating them, but also thwarting them, controlling their game world.
It's weird as well, because that means if you don't have a tablet, which a lot of people aren't going to have, does that mean you just can't play that game mode? I understand having a tablet is an option, but you should also have the option to use your hardware, like you said.
As far as I know, that game mode, you have to download the Watch Dogs app, and I don't know I can't remember if it was free. I think it was. And it was like, okay, you're watching all of this on your phone. You're only watching the overhead map, but you're not actually watching from his perspective. You're basically just tapping things on a map to see if that, causes destruction on his car. But you're not actually seeing it in action, so it's just weird.
What are you doing right now with your stats or equipment or whatever you're doing?
I'm looking for that Malacoda soul because it's a really powerful one.
Your looks like
it's one of the best souls in the game, but I'm looking in the wrong soul section. I should have looked in the axe armor one.
This may be a stupid question, but what does that soul do?
Ooh.
Lets you use this tail.
Ah, that's the soul that you just picked
and it
up.
does nearly 200 damage.
Nice. That's cool. I did like all the passive abilities in this game. There's so many of them.
Yeah.
I do like a lot of the different abilities. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm gonna say this version gives you Black Panther early instead of getting it down here.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And to defeat these iron golems, use him because it attacks the magic points instead of the HP.
Oh, so you
because they have 999 HP.
Ooh. You kill them if their magic points are reduced to 0.
Yeah, they've got about 10 magic points or something. So once you drain the MP, it'll kill them by using him.
It's very similar to the Star Ocean series. They did the exact same thing where they have 2 bars, one health and one of them MP, magic points. And if you drain the magic points, even though it's not technically their health, it for some reason destroys them and kills them.
I like it when they add things. I like it when they add things like that into games, though. Like with Final Fantasy, I like when you're fighting an undead creature, you can use healing items on it to damage it. I thought that was so cool.
Or better yet, in the
there's some bosses in Final Fantasy 6 you can kill by draining their
Oh, nice.
But when you're in the Metal Gear series, where if you don't want to kill someone, you use stamina draining items.
Yeah,
and then do
it's
the
cool.
exact same thing.
Okay.
So you're saying that Panther Soul you got a lot later in the other version. Do you mean the mod, or is it the HD version that changes that up?
In the original version and the HD version, you don't get it till you literally get to this spot in the game.
Okay.
But in this version, it gives you after the second Dio fight.
So does it give you that soul instead of something else?
No, it gives you that soul with the item you were supposed to get. It's like the final seal.
I was going to say, yeah.
Just drinking his coffee.
You're putting a lot of faith into your abilities to avoid any of the lowest than you tell.
Yep. It's like 3 health at one point. That was getting sweaty there for a minute.
Oh yeah.
One thing I like about these old RPGs is just how many abilities and items you get. I know Blood Omen had a ton of them. It's one of the few games like this that I've played. And just all the different things that you can do is kind of cool.
Just seemed to have so many options back then, didn't they? Like there was so many, there's so much flavor added in.
Yeah, I don't feel like you get that now.
Not really, no. It's more the exception than the rule that it used to be.
Yeah.
Luckily, there's a warp room here.
Nice.
Oof, saving.
I can go back and buy some more potions.
Excellent.
I love those teleport rooms. So in this game, is there just one map? Because I'm still not sure how I felt about the Castlevania Symphony of the Night. The fact that you go through the castle twice, even though the second time through is a lot quicker.
Yeah, this one only has one map. Portrait of Ruin has about 8 maps. Because you go into the portraits in the castle, so it opens up new areas.
Okay. So do you go back through those portals?
In the port, yeah, you can jump back into the portraits anytime.
Oh, okay. So I didn't know whether, like, once you went through a portal, that was it. You moved on to the next area permanently.
No, you can go back and
Okay.
forth. Like the portrait, the portals are like special areas that you have to defeat the bosses in.
I don't mind point of no returns as long as they're very obviously, you tell the player that this is a point of no return.
Well, that warp room there is like your last exit before the final boss, and there's a save point before it as well.
Nice.
So, and it does have a new game plus this as well, but it doesn't carry all the souls over.
Oh, okay.
So any
Very
synthesizing you want to do with certain boss falls, do it now. It's like Death Soul doesn't carry over and all that.
I always appreciate when a game gives you a new game plus, so you can just fly through it with all your upgrade stuff.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and you keep your level, so you're way overpowered.
Oh, nice.
Like bosses go down to a single hit.
That's never the case most of the time with Nintendo games. It's like they don't even give you an option, let alone a new game plus. It's just like you got to play it our way or you don't play it at all.
Yeah, New Game Plus is awesome, just to go for a super powered rampage. And that's like one thing that I love about the modern Resident Evil remakes. Just being able to take all your upgraded gear and just have a fun run.
Yeah.
Agreed. And even then, like certain games, they'll make the enemies harder as well.
Yep,
That's still more
true.
fun because you've got an arsenal of different abilities and items to play with, and that's how you want it.
Yep. And I don't...
Now, I'm gonna craft one of the most broken swords in the game.
Nice.
Although it says it's weaker, it's got multiple hits on it.
Abaddon.
Yeah, that was the cricket boss we just defeated. So you only get one soul of this per playthrough.
Oof.
See, when you say Abaddon, it just reminds me of Golden Axe 1. You love the final boss in that, so, showing our age there a little bit, but that's how it goes.
A little bit.
Nothing wrong with
No,
Golden
I'm
Axe.
not saying there
Golden
is
Axe is
anything
great.
wrong with it. That's just literally what I associate when I hear that name.
Well, Golden Axe is coming back.
Is it?
Yes.
Is it?
Yep.
Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me.
No,
guys.
Sega
I'm
announced that big
not-
thing last year. That they're bringing back Streets of Rage, even though they've done 4, but they're doing it in-house. They're bringing back Jet Set Radio. They're bringing back Crazy Taxi. They're bringing back Golden Axe. And they even showed footage of the new
That's
in-progress games.
Thor sent
It
me
was like
something about
last
that
year
last
or the
year.
year before.
Hey, new. Do you mean like remade, remastered?
They haven't said exactly... Oh, and Jet Set Radio as well, which I love. That's coming back in a big way. They haven't said exactly what these games are going to be, whether
Hey,
they're
Chris,
reboots.
that's more future LPs for you.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. I remember I did the Golden Axe ages ago.
Yep.
Okay.
I watched.
Yeah.
I think that was when I used to do Sunday Let's Plays.
Okay.
They
Was
announced
that back in your wonky cam days, or did you already have the capture card at this point?
I think that was when I had the
Okay.
capture card, so
I remember you getting stung.
If you want to see the wonky cam stuff, it's still on the channel. The early stuff.
Yeah.
It's there for posterity.
As long as YouTube's around, anyway.
Yeah.
Oh yes. So they announced this in December last year. They're bringing back. Oh, that's it. They're bringing back Crazy Taxi, Golden Axe, Jet Set Radio, Shinobi, and Streets of Rage.
Oh, Shinobi.
Where's the Skies of Arcadia 2?
Yeah, it says reboot.
Or re-release it at least on modern consoles.
If they re-release it, put some voice acting to it.
So they're rebooting these.
The final
Yes, they're
story part of the game.
rebooting.
Is,
Ooh,
So these
sorry.
are,
yeah, is
from
this
what I'm seeing, they're
is this area macabre enough for you, Joe?
wow, that's pretty rough.
With all the naked dead bodies
why
On
is it that you
Nintendo
aimed that at
kids.
I wonder.
me?
So what's this conversation about?
I know.
He's just absorbed the soul of a super powerful demon, and he's sacrificed evil Karen there.
Ooh. Evil Karen.
His crucified.
Such nonsense.
Yes.
She wants to talk to his manager.
He has one of the pussies.
Well, she can't anymore. She's sacrificed
Nice.
her. And yes, he like hitched the ride in Soma's body for a little bit, thinking he's copied his abilities, and it's about to backfire on him horribly. Because he's a
But with that
Ah.
hairstyle, I'm not surprised.
Right?
Yeah, nice bowl cut he's got there.
I can imagine him with a Liverpoolian accent, like a posh Liverpoolian accent.
Oh no, I can't unhear that now.
Genyard. Yay, so now Genyard's useless at the minute. Did you figure out who he was, Ty?
No, because I haven't been that.
Come on, this one's easy. Cut the name.
Whose name?
Ricardo.
Oh, really?
Yes! He's Alucard.
But
It was him
Alec-
the whole time.
He's all...
Is that like
But I thought-
Pliskin being Snake in Metal Gear 2?
Yep.
Or Metal
Yeah.
Gear Solid 2, I should correct myself.
Yeah. Now, if you really want a challenge for this game, I suggest playing Julius mode. It's got its own story as well.
What's Julius mode? Is it the
It's-
same game
it's-
again with a different character, or?
No, it's got its own story. It uses all the same locations. It's basically for the second bad ending.
Oh.
Yep. See, he lost control and the giant demon burst out of him.
So is he
Like
actually
Facebugger.
Alucard though?
Genyard Alucardo is...
So Alucard's become evil.
No, this is the snotty Liverpoolian guy.
Oh, right. Got you.
He tried to copy Soma's power of dominance.
Ah.
Now I'm looking for Medusa head here, because for this part of the fight,
So he tried to be a Dom and then he realized he's a sub all along. Alright.
Yep. He's a beta soy boy.
Yep.
so if you use Medusa head, you can like just float in the air like
Whoa.
that. Cheese this first part.
Yeah.
Just avoid them ribs or whatever they are.
That is crazy damage, like 40 per hit.
And, yeah, and it's doing multiple
Yeah,
hits per swing.
it's about 4, isn't it?
That's why I said this
160
weapon's broken.
60 damage each.
Each
And
cycle.
thank you. I'm now hungry for ribs. Thank you for that.
Oh,
Sounds
right, I'm
amazing.
gonna order fried chicken in a minute.
Ooh. I can go for that
You
too.
had a
Chicken.
order coming through at 5 o'clock, isn't it?
Yeah, we gotta order it as soon as this.
Oh, you've
is
got
done.
to order it. You haven't ordered it yet.
Yeah, no, they open at 5. I've been fasting all day as well, so I'm starving. Oh,
Ty's wasting
I
away. Wasting
You're gonna
away.
get something nice, greasy. just
yeah.
good.
Oh, yeah. I can.
Just like
I can.
nice,
If I close my eyes, I
saucy.
can taste it.
Just nice, saucy chicken.
Yeah, with that
Look out
crisp,
for the
Melted.
Langagarian.
crispy batty.
Is
Crisp.
there a problem?
Oh yeah, they're hurt.
Ah.
But have you ever seen that Stephen King thing
Dribbling.
about them trapped in
That's amazing.
time? That's what they look like, Langagarians.
Okay.
Oh man. All
think
the
we're having
hot
two different
sauce,
Now we have to defeat
conversations
the
now.
face on his knee.
garlic mayo.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll tell you what, me and my missus had pizza the other night, and it was the most easy, disgustingly delicious thing ever. Just
Oh.
melting out, just dripping
Stop.
with cheese.
Oh,
It was so good.
pizza. I haven't had pizza for a while, actually. Oh, yesterday was just...
Anyway, what's the best
Protein.
weapon to use against this
Yeah,
thing?
anyway, so enough of the food porn.
So, what did you say, Beaver?
What's the best weapon to use against this thing?
Pizza cutter.
This part. So then you need the piercing weapon for his head because he will close his mouth, and it limits you to one hit. So
Okay.
the Alucard charge should do the trick because it can pierce
I
guard.
mean, you've almost killed him anyway now, so...
It's like if you do this, he'll just close his mouth and you can't
Yeah, but
touch
you
him.
almost killed him now anyway.
The design of him is really cool. I like the grotesque kind of design. It's wicked.
Do you have any ranged attacks? Maybe that's what the implication is.
He knows
You
what he's
can't-
doing.
Well, I mean, no, you...
Yeah, you have to hit him in the mouth.
Yeah, but do you have any ranged attacks?
You have to hit the face in his mouth.
Almost. It's just very slow.
Accuracy. Supreme.
Like, do you not have any of those throwing axes?
Oh yeah, those. Now you're almost out of stamina. Out of mana, yeah.
Now,
Magic.
if those throwing axes were golden, then we would have golden axe.
Yeah. Oh, that whips.
Which
That whip.
I watched the trailer of that.
Yeah, that tail's really
and
good.
It looks pretty...
Nice.
Another one that is a giant axe armor because it takes up like a lot of the screen when you use it.
I'll tell you what, this music's so reminiscent of Final Fantasy VIII final boss right now.
I thought earlier, one of the other zones, that it sounded very Final Fantasy.
It did. I actually heard that a bit as well. I mean, like, to be fair, like Japanese designers, developers, they all take.
The composer for this is the same one that did Symphony.
Oh, okay.
Symphony had incredible music, man.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was so good.
It's the same composer.
Yeah, because this game as well, even though I've only like played half of it, just has some amazing music in places.
Yeah, she does a lot of amazing music. She left Konami with Igert and she worked on Bloodstained's tracks.
Bloodstained.
Yeah, I must play
No,
that.
I've got that game. I still haven't played it. But it's really good.
Now you should give it a go.
Damn it.
You played it
Boy
with
here
the
did a let's
Monkey
play.
Cam.
I mean, she looks hot, and I would play that.
And I did see there's a mod where I could do a ballistics edition if I did a let's play.
I'm sure
Oh, really?
you did.
Yay.
I'm sure you did.
Oh, wow.
We looked.
Yes.
That's been directed at, Chris. Not me.
I think Chris needs to replay that because you did it with the wonky cam, didn't you?
Yeah, it's half and
That's
half.
it,
So,
that's right.
And the game has evolved since I last played it because it's added everything to it that needed adding. So
cool.
it's a lot different.
Ah, nice.
It has fulfilled all his promises.
Because it was on Game Pass at one point.
Yeah, most game devs don't do
Yeah.
that. They don't fulfill their promises.
No, absolutely not.
Iger did, so we can say thank
I mean,
you
to
for
be
that.
fair, it may not always be their fault because executives get in the way too. So
Yeah,
Of course.
It's always the corporate ladder, isn't it? They're the
Yeah.
final decisions, so you can
He what was it? He went. What's that website called that lets you fund the video?
Oh,
games?
Kickstarter.
Kickstarter.
Oh, nice. Last little swipe.
He's done
Into the
for.
hole.
Eh.
Now
Oh.
join the bodies.
Oh,
Oh, the powers of chaos are re-entering Sorma now.
Those Chaos Emeralds. Wait, wrong game.
yeah, that's a lot of Chaos Emeralds.
Is he turning into alleged Dracula now or something?
No, he doesn't. This is the good ending. In the bad ending, he turns to Dracula. And that's where Julius mode begins.
Oh, cool. So Julius mode
Because
starts straight away.
from the bad ending.
Ah.
Because what you have to do is defeat Sorma. they're saying, basically, he's saying, will there be a Dark Lord? Yeah, and he's going, yeah, but it doesn't have to be you, and we can like fight him all the time. Yeah, so it's like the Dark Lord is the entity opposite to God, and he says, yeah, there'll be a need for one, but it don't have to be you, Soma. So that's what they're basically saying.
Okay.
Which is the bad ending of the game, as Soma becomes the Dark Lord.
No, that's when you get that
And
other
it's
game.
one of the
Is that the
best.
canon ending though?
It's one of the best fights in the game, and Julius mode is a lot harder because you don't get potions
That was rough.
or healing items. You level up, but you can't heal
So how do you heal?
unless you save points let you heal.
That's rough.
Or if you use, is it Yoko? She can regain like 1 HP per hit with a weapon or something like that.
That's pretty rough, especially
It's
in
hard.
the early game.
Yeah, but Julius is so OP. So you start off with Julius and he is really strong.
Especially against
And
living
if you
things.
look at his character portrait, he based that character off Ikaraiga himself.
Okay.
Yes, if you look at him and Julius side by side with that portrait, they look similar. Hey, everyone's come to say, yay, you defeated, yay, let's go home. I like how like the castle just crumbles as well for no reason. It wasn't even Dracula's castle, that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because at the end of the last game, it destroys itself and sealed away in an eclipse. So that was just their base. But there's one spot.
Well, they seem pretty happy
Yeah,
about
there's one
whatever.
spot in it. There's one spot in it. The ruins. I think that was one of his old castles.
Rush mode.
And yay. And that's it. The credits are rolling.
Nice.
And you get like a nice little thing of all the sprites in the game that they used.
I like those sort of roll call sort of things, especially when they tell you
Yeah.
like what the enemy's called and things like that.
Yeah.
One thing I used to really like about Nintendo games during the credits.
Yeah, this game does have a nice bestiary as well, so gives you a little description on each enemy.
Now imagine if the
So you can read it to
bestiary
your heart
was on
content.
your phone.
It's nice that they include the actual names of the developers this time instead of forcing them to use pseudonames so that they wouldn't get headhunted by other studios. I know that's probably like way past that time now, but it's just a nice. It's nice that that stereotyping is gone now.
Yeah. I know something that don't have included in today's modern age. There's the Persephone enemy. It's like if you kill one of the devils near her and it goes into its whirlwind, it starts blowing a skirt up. She's going, ah!
Oh no, that is not
But-
friendly for a modern audience.
Yeah.
Nope.
But you also can get hold of a saw which lets you use a vacuum cleaner.
Oh, I've got that.
Yeah. So if you use that on them, you can also suck the skirt up with the vacuum.
Yep, I noticed that.
Of course you did.
Yep, yep. That vacuum cleaner was one of my most used souls actually for a long time. It's like
Yeah.
this proper
I'm so-
gothic skull vacuum cleaner. It's cool.
Yeah, it's like when I watched you try this, you picked up Ouija table straight away, and I'm like, whoa, that's like super rare.
Yeah, if I used Ouija table.
Yeah, you just sit down and
Oh, that one gets your health back.
it restores your health. It's really good. And that's it for Castlevania. Thank you for joining us.
Cheers,
Thanks
guys.
for having us on.
Aye, it was a pleasure.
Very well.
I gotta find where Gabby's gone. She's